What's going on, faithful? And welcome back to Not So Pro Niner Talk. I'm freaking pumped. I'm joined by Reed from Not So Pro Packer Talk. And today we have some breaking news. We have Jimmy G finalizing a deal, restructuring his contract with the San Francisco 49ers. He is staying a faithful, he is staying in the Bay, and he is staying with the 49ers as a backup to Trey Lance. I'm so excited. I hope you guys are excited too, faithful, because this is great news. Honestly, it's great news. If you guys saw my other video 2 weeks ago on what's going on with Jimmy G, this was probably one of the biggest spots that he could land was with the Niners staying with us instead of him getting traded to the Browns, instead of him getting cut, instead of him going for free to Seattle. Seattle, come on, man. No one wants that. Hey, Nestor, appreciate you
So,
being here
Nestor,
live, brother. Appreciate, man. Reed, I'm a Niners fan, and as you could tell, I'm super pumped up about this. I'm
hmm
psyched out of my mind. From a non-Niner fan perspective,
hmm
how do you see this? What does this look like to you?
man, there's just I've like thought about it ever since it came out. Me and AJ both reacted to it, and we sent it via text. We both reacted immediately. I've had a wide range of thoughts about it. Through this is a terrible thing for the Niners to hey, this isn't a bad thing. And then I've also thought, I mean, this isn't the worst thing. Also, what's up, Peyton? What's up, man? So like first off, it's not plan A, you know.
Right.
Plan A
Okay.
was to trade him at the beginning of the offseason, get him to the Colts, get him to another team. I don't know where, but trade him early in the season. That was plan A. Plan
Yeah.
A didn't work
Yeah.
out. The shoulder thing, AJ broke it all down in his other podcast. And then moved on from there, and now they couldn't cut him because I mean that's just I never thought I like made jokes about it a few times, but I never actually thought Shanahan would actually cut him. So they decided to re-sign him. I can't believe he took a smaller deal. Wow.
Oh my gosh, I was so surprised. I was thinking, if you guys saw my last video with Jimmy G, I was thinking that the Niners were going to cut him a deal for 20 mil instead of 25 mil this upcoming season. Pete De La Pena, thank you so much for being here live. He says, if he was fine with being a backup, I would have called him myself to come on over to Dallas. I don't think he was fine with being a backup, because this is his last year in his contract. He wants to be a starting quarterback and he needs to get paid. So one, it's one with the Niners because he gets paid pretty darn well as a backup quarterback. And two, he has incentives in there where if he starts, he gets paid big time. Not 25 mil, but he's able to get up to 16, 17 million this upcoming
Mm-hmm.
season just to prove it. And I do think this was the best of all worlds. It was the best for the team, first of all, because there's a lot of players that love Jimmy G. You're talking about Debo Samuel, you're talking about George Kittle, Fred Warner. They all love Jimmy G. And so I think it's great for the locker room. Okay. Even with Trey Lance, I think it's great for Jimmy G because if you guys, I would keep on referencing my old video. Keeping Jimmy G in the team is more like an insurance plan. Okay, don't think about it as signing a backup quarterback. I know backups. If your starter gets injured, we know what we could do with Jimmy G. Okay, so right now his base salary is 6.5 mil, right? 6.5 mil. And if he does start, we're paying him 16, 17 mil. I think paying 17 million to guarantee you a spot in the playoffs. This is a guaranteed spot no matter what. I'll take that deal any year. Okay. My biggest thing with Jimmy G was that I did not want to keep him because it would be easier for us to sign Nick Bosa the following year because he's going to be getting paid some big money. And we did it. And we were able to renegotiate his contract, still allowing us to have an easier time to sign Nick Bosa next year. Because, guys, 6.5 mil, that's nothing. That is nothing. Reed's a big stat guy, okay? Reed loves to look at the cap space and all that. The Niners were dead last when it comes to cap space available. We were negative. We were dead last there. And now, guess where we're at? We're number 5, baby.
Number 5.
We're number 5, baby. If something happens, we got money. We got net money. And that's your clip that in case the 49ers don't make it to the play. Clip that, dude. The
Clip it,
Niners are
dude.
making it to the playoffs.
They're making it to the playoffs.
They're making it to the playoffs. Their division just got weaker. You think we're going to send Jimmy G to Seattle for free? You think Kyle Shanahan wants that? No, Pete Dust, he's not going to get a quarterback this year. Okay, they don't have a quarterback on their roster right now. We have the best backup quarterback in the league. We know what he can do. He's been in the championship game. He's been in the Super Bowl. Okay, so if Trey Lance doesn't pan out, or if he gets injured, because I don't believe that he sucks. Okay, I don't think he sucks, and I do believe he is better than Jimmy G. Okay, I haven't seen too much of him, but I do believe he is better than Jimmy G. I know for a fact he has more potential. He has a higher ceiling than Jimmy Garoppolo, but I don't believe he sucks. So unless Trey Lance gets injured, we still got a playoff caliber team. I can't tell you how many times we have missed the playoffs due to quarterback injury. Faithful, if you're here listening, remember those days with Brian Hoyer. Remember those days with CJ Beathard, Nick Mullins, even Colin Kaepernick, because yeah, he was great, but he got injured. Alex Smith, when he got injured, luckily we had Colin Kaepernick back there and he showed out. But I can't name how many times where we missed the playoffs due to quarterback injury, and Jimmy G was one of them. Teddy Belcher, appreciate you being here, man. Thank you so much. We got some fantasy talk tomorrow, and
Yeah.
oh, I'm just so pumped out of my mind. I'm
Yeah.
glad Jimmy G's here. I get to keep this Funko Pop for a whole other year. I want to keep it. I want to go to one of the games and get him to sign it because
Yeah.
I love Jimmy G.
Going off what you previously said, AJ, yes, it is a great thing to have him as a backup. That is a for sure. Hey, he knows the offense. He's been there for a while. He can take right over it if Trey Lance gets hurt or he just sucks. He can step right in and it'd be like everything's back to normal again, just like last year. One of the best teams in the NFC, one of the best teams in football. But the bad thing about it, in my opinion, is if Trey Lance starts sucking, it's going to get really, really loud for Niners fans. They're going to be they're going to be crying out, we got to bring Jimmy back into the starting offense. Trey Lance isn't it. That's going to be the end of his career. They're going to write it off early. I'm of the fan of you got to write out these young quarterbacks. They're going to make mistakes. They're going to be look pretty bad in some games, but you got to write it out. Let them develop. If you just throw him back onto the bench just because he's playing bad, he's never going to be able to develop, and you're never going to be able to get back what you put in to Trey Lance. All those draft picks, trading up in the draft. He made a big commitment with him, and if you just send him off or bench him, I don't know if you ever will get what you need out of him. But this is all just a scenario.
Yeah.
He can play incredible, but if he has a bad game or a couple bad games in a row, it's going to get really loud for the Niners fans.
I understand that, and that's the one thing I cannot stand. I actually said this in my last video when I was talking about, or I guess it was Jimmy G. I thought it was the Jason Poe video, but right, there's always been a choose a side. You know, you team Lance or you team Jimmy G. You could be team both. Okay, we are all repping the same team, and I do see like. Well, I don't see it because I do think he's going to be great. But let's just say if Trey Lance is doing bad and the Niners fans are, rioting, which I don't think that would happen, writing that they want Jimmy G to be on there. There is going to be a lot of talks if that happens, but I don't feel like Kyle Shanahan's the type of coach that gives in and puts in Jimmy G. If you remember, a long time when before we had Jimmy G, our quarterback was Brian Hoyer, and our backup was Blaine Gabbert. And each game I went into, I was like, please, Shanahan, please put CJ Beathard in. He's not the best quarterback, but he's the better quarterback that we have on the roster. Please, it just never happened. I thought it was clear as day, but Kyle Shanahan has loyalty. He has loyalty to his players, and that's why a lot of these players do respect him. Now, Jimmy G, he is familiar with with the organization, with the program. This year he has not gotten a playbook. I believe I'm pretty sure he got a playbook after signing that deal. But I can definitely see that. And my message for the faithful is stay faithful. Okay. We are a fan of the 49ers. We got to have faith when it comes to Kyle Shanahan and what he wants to do with the Niners. Um, but that's all I got to say. Stay
Yeah,
faithful and, remain loyal to the Niners and trust in Shanahan.
for sure. I have a quick question for you though. If let's say worst case scenario, you know,
Okay.
um, Trey Lance plays bad, and you got to put in Jimmy G. What's the point where How bad does Trey Lance have to play before you decide, hey, we got to go back to Jimmy G? What is the point?
That point is, he has to be extremely low because if you remember last year, I was to the point where I was like, dude, bench Jimmy G. Bench that dude. Okay. He was nearly averaging 3 interceptions a game. It was insane. And if you're nearly averaging 3 interceptions a game, why are you starting for a playoff caliber team? It's because of the loyalty program. So I think if Trey Lance is purposely throwing on these games, and I'm not saying throwing like football pass, I'm the slang word, like just straight up blows, it has to be really bad. And he has to be dealing with the injury as well. I don't think it's going to be easy for Cal Shanahan to sit him back on the bench after he already named him the starter. And he already said that this is Trey Lance's team. If he has a bad year, so what? Technically, this is kind of like his rookie year. So what? Let him learn. Let him fall down face first in the mud. But let's see how he gets up. If he doesn't get up, then we made a mistake. Oh, well, we could re-sign Jimmy. That's still on the table. If not, we move on. That's just the way the NFL works. Nick De La Rosa, appreciate you being here, brother. So glad. Hey, Nick, Pete, Nestor, I know you guys are all in our fantasy football league. We are doing it live tomorrow. And if you guys want to join on the show live with us, that is also available. I'll send you guys some details later. Nick says fans have to. Lance, get all the nerves out. They will see what he's really got. I truly believe Lance can have a breakout season and learn from Jimmy G. Yes, you got to remember, you guys, last year, Trey Lance said, or even this offseason, they said, how difficult did Jimmy G make it for you in the locker room? He said, honestly, he could have made my life hell, but he didn't. And I consider Jimmy G as one of my best friends. That is what he said. You can look it up if you want. I'm not going to take the time right now to go look on YouTube because it's word for word. You could quote it. You could find it. Jimmy G is considered to be Trey Lance's best friend. So I love that. He said he learned a lot from Jimmy, especially in this organization with the 49ers. Jimmy G's been there for 4 years now. He could still teach him a few things. Okay. He's not going to learn everything from Jimmy. No, he has to learn a lot from himself and a lot from the other leagues as well and from his coaches. But definitely could still learn. I do believe Trey Lance can have a breakout year, not solely because of his performance, but because of the team that he's on. The team is ready to go, and he's been put in a great situation with a great head coach, a great offense, and a great defense. As far as special teams, I gotta wait to see how they look like. I know Reed's on the same boat here with the Packers, but it was extremely, yes, the Niners and Packers had the two worst special teams this past season, and it's insane, especially when you have a high-powered offense. It means a lot. Special teams is huge, but I do believe Trey Lance can still have a breakout year, even with Jimmy G, and I don't think it'll be a distraction for Trey Lance either. They have a great connection, and if you guys want to believe, or you guys hear rumors, oh, Trey Lance can't compete to his fullest, he's being distracted, he has Jimmy G over his shoulder. If that is all true, then I don't want Trey Lance as my starting quarterback. When it comes to a quarterback, you have to be smart. When it comes to smarts, Trey Lance has it. Confidence, I believe Trey Lance has it. If you're insecure about yourself, then you should not be a starting quarterback for a big organization such as the 49ers. If you're unconfident in yourself, if you are looking over your shoulder because of Jimmy G, then get out of there. Okay, don't be a Ryan Tannehill. Okay, don't do that. Play with confidence. Play with what you got. Okay, you got drafted 3rd overall for a reason. Who cares what people say? Who cares what the media says? Who cares if someone says that was the worst move ever? Mac Jones should. No, dude. Let's prove all the haters wrong. Let's show them what we got.
Okay.
Yeah.
I like it. Now, I kind of want to get into the trade scenarios. He did sign, and his deal was a no trade clause. So the Niners cannot trade him this upcoming season without Jimmy Garoppolo's permission. So Jimmy Garoppolo has the option to say, "Hey, I don't want to go to the Browns. If you want to trade me to the Browns, but if you want to trade me to the Texans, I will go there." He has this choice of whatever team. So if let's say, I don't know, what's a team? Let's say the Patriots. Mac Jones gets hurt in the first 4 weeks.
Mm-hmm.
Jimmy G could go there. And that scenario holds up for a lot of different teams. A lot of these are even some of the bigger teams. Let's say the Packers. I don't think the Packers is still the same because we want with Jordan we want to move forward with Jordan Love, but if a starting quarterback, someone who's reliable, goes down in the first 4 weeks or whatever before the trade deadline, you could definitely see Jimmy Garoppolo potentially saying, "Hey, I want to be a starter again. Trade me into this team," and the Niners go ahead and send him off.
And that's why it's such a win for Jimmy G, because he gets to stay cooped up inside an organization that is ready to win, that wants to win.
Mhm.
Okay. And if there's let's say the Tennessee Titans, right? Ryan Tannehill,
That's a good
he
one.
gets hurt and Malik Willis is not the guy. What are they going to do? Hey, Niners, Jimmy G, we want to trade for you. What do you think? Jimmy G's like, okay, this is a winning team. This is a team that could win, the favorable in that division. Let's do it. Let's agree. Let's get sent over there. And all the Niners owe him is $6 million. That's still a dub. That's still a win for the Niners. And
Yeah.
it's great for Jimmy G because that's always been the unwritten rule with these San Francisco 49ers ever since John Lynch and Kyle Shanahan showed up. They love their players and they want to do right about their players. There is no way in HE double hockey sticks that the Niners were going to trade uh, Jimmy G to teams like the the Houston Texans, the New York Giants. It had to be where he wanted to go. He said himself he wants to be in a winning team, a team that wants to win. Okay, because he can do it. He can uh, help the team get to that spot. He won't do it himself, but he can help. Okay, and as far as options, he's probably one of the best options there. So I think it's very great that they added that in there. And also, I'm going to speak from a very biased fan perspective. Okay, let's say the Niners go to the Super Bowl and they win a Super Bowl and Jimmy G remains a backup. I feel like it's only right that Jimmy G still gets a ring as a 49er. I do, because he has brought us out of the dark for such a long time, and he's given us a lot these past couple of years just to look forward to. We still got to be thankful for what Jimmy G has done with the Niners. So if he's able to get a ring with the Niners, even as a backup, good for him. I feel like he deserves that.
Are you saying that if he gets traded and they win a Super Bowl,
No, no, no.
or
If
he's
he stays with the
oh,
Niners.
he 100% gets a ring. Every person on the roster gets a
No,
ring.
no, no. I know that. I'm saying
Oh,
that
okay.
it would be deserved.
Yes,
I would
100%.
like
Okay.
for him
Okay.
to remain a Niner and get a ring, even as a backup, because of what he's done. And I don't think it
100%.
will reflect off of, because I know everyone's gonna say, "Oh, he has rings as a backup," and it doesn't mean anything to it. I think it does, because all of this would have led up to the spot of them going to the Super Bowl, and a lot has to be thanks to Jimmy G. He's done a lot
Hmm.
for the Niners. Okay,
And
even if you don't see it.
I think you can also make the case, if that does happen, that even if he is the backup, some people, like especially Niners fans, would be, or Jimmy G fans would say, "Hey, if Jimmy G was starting quarterback, the results would be the same. The Niners would still win the Super Bowl." I think
Yeah.
that's very fair to say.
Mhm.
The Niners have the team to do it. It's one of the best rosters in football right now.
Oh yeah.
And I think either one of these quarterbacks, whoever's starting, could potentially win a Super Bowl.
It's probably one of the biggest memes right now with the San Francisco 49ers. And I'm so happy I get to talk 49ers right now with you, Reed, because normally I got to stop myself and not pro football talk.
Yeah.
But the one of the biggest memes that I can't stand watching is that the Niners were always one catch away. Just always one catch away. Whether it be the Colin Kaepernick era with Michael Crabtree, whether it be last year when they dropped interception with Jaquiski Tart against the Rams, the Super Bowl against the Chiefs where he overthrew Emmanuel Sanders. It's always been that one catch, one drop. Um, so he has done a lot for the 49ers just to make him a backup. Hey, we're securing him a spot. Okay. We're not cutting him. We are, I hate to say we, because obviously I'm not part of the 49ers organization, but the San Francisco 49ers are employing him. Okay. And not just, it might not seem handsomely, but it is. He is going to be the highest paid backup in the league, rightfully so. And if something happens to Trey Lance, he already has a system that he is familiar with, that he just gets to step right in and just back where he started, press resume on that pause button when you're playing a video game. That's exactly what he's doing. And he will get paid handsomely if he is the starter because of the incentives inside his contract. So he won't be getting paid 25 mil, but he will be getting paid that 17 million, okay, which is still a lot for a quarterback. So I think it's great. And next year he will have a job. You know it. Who cares if the draft class is going to be filled with quarterbacks? Every single year, there's a lot of quarterback, mishap when it comes to these teams. You can see with the Titans, like we said earlier, Ryan Tannehill, this is last year. Malik Willis might not be the guy. Pittsburgh Steelers, Mitch Trubisky, I know it's not that guy. Pickens might not be that guy. The New York Giants is not a prove-it-year deal, might not be that guy. Wentz might not be that guy. He has a chance. He will get a job next year, whether it be with the Niners again or whether it be a starting, position elsewhere. Jimmy G should be a 49er starter from Armando Alvarado. Thank you so much for watching. Dad, welcome live. But if you listen, I said this earlier. I think Trey Lance should be the starter because we invested so much into him. Okay. So at least allow him to try out. If he fails, that's okay. It's natural. It is his first year as a starter in the NFL. So if he fails, so be it. He has a great team around him. If Jimmy G starts, we're back on the same boat as last year. This is his last year in this contract, his last year. So what if he's like, you know what? Screw the Niners again. I want out. We're back on phase one. And then now we're in year 3 with a quarterback that we invested so much in. We wasted a lot of time. We wasted years. Yeah. But as I said earlier in this show, Jimmy G's insurance policy, a guaranteed playoff spot just by signing him here. And it helps us out with Nick Bosa because his contract was friendly. But being a backup when he could actually be a starter, hey, he did that to himself. He did that to himself. He wouldn't have been a Niner if he did not decide to get shoulder surgery a week before free agency. I fully 100% believe, and all these commentators, all these news reporters believe it as well, that if he did not get that shoulder surgery a week before free agency, they were going to sign. I think teams already came out and said that they were going to trade for him. The Colts, the Commanders, what was the other, etc. There's so many teams out there, but it is what it is now. But maybe this was the move the whole time. Maybe this was, the plan was to be sticky with the Niners because maybe Jimmy G doesn't believe in Trey Lance. Maybe he doesn't think he's the guy and he wants to stay a Niner. He wants to be a faithful. If you guys just saw his last interview, the last game of him as a Niner against the LA Rams in the playoffs, in the press conference, this guy was in tears. He was in tears saying goodbye to the faithful, saying goodbye to the San Francisco 49ers reporters, saying, thank you guys for everything. I love it here. I appreciate every single one. He was in tears. He thought that was his last game as a Niner. So you're telling me that there might not be a chance that this wasn't planned out? I think he does want to be a Niner. The San Francisco Niners were the team that entrusted him to be a starter, to get him out of there.
Can I answer this one?
Yeah.
Okay, you're putting all the marbles on Trey Lance basket, and he only played 2 games last year. They're not putting all the marbles on Trey Lance. They re-signed Jimmy. That's literally not them putting all the marbles in Trey Lance. And for everyone who's saying that Jimmy G should be the starter over Trey Lance, we know the Niners know what they're going to get out of Jimmy G. It's good enough play. It's good enough. But with Trey Lance, they have the potential to be even greater. Trey Lance could potentially be one of the elite quarterbacks in this league. We just have to figure that out. And if you never figure it out and just let him waste out on the bench, just sitting behind Jimmy G, you're losing out on so much. Figure out what you have with Trey Lance and then make the decision afterwards. But you can't make this decision without figuring it out first.
That's true. Thank you so much, Reed. You said that perfectly. Honestly, you did. That's why I'm so excited about the season, because I don't know what I'm going to get. If Jimmy G was starting, all right, I'm worried about injuries. I'm worried to see what we could do against the Rams, how many turnovers we're going to have, how many close games we're going to have. We had so many games last year that we lost by 6 points or less. So many games. A lot of it was just simple mistakes. And I said this before as well. Jimmy G was the guy that you thanked because he extinguished a fire in the fourth quarter. But you don't thank the guy that started the fire. He is the guy who started the fire and then he extinguishes it in the fourth quarter, tries to make it up. We don't need to be in that predicament. We don't. I can't remember the last time the Niners had a quarterback with a cannon of an arm, and Trey Lance has that. And you got to remember, too, guys, Trey Lance, I think he just turned 22 years old. He's 22 years old playing the professional level. And then you have a coach like Kyle Shanahan, which I think is a top 5 coach in the NFL because of how creative he is. And he's also named a quarterback whisperer. If he could utilize someone that young, mold him into what he wants to be molded to, just imagine what he can be. Everyone felt the same way about RG3 his first year, right? RG3 was the guy to be, leading the NFL every single year. He was the next Tom Brady, the next GOAT. Guess who the offensive coordinator was? Kyle Shanahan. Guess who told the team, draft this guy as quarterback? Kyle Shanahan. But you know what? RG3, he got in his own head. He was a horrible person, horrible human being. Well, he might have changed, okay? But as a player, he was very cocky. He was this, he was that, and he, didn't agree with a lot of organization. The Washington club decided to move away from Kyle Shanahan and move away from his father, Mike Shanahan. And then Kyle Shanahan becomes the offensive coordinator of Atlanta Falcons, right? Who does he have? Matty Ice. That year that they went to the Super Bowl, Matty Ice had an MVP year. Yes, they didn't win, but Matt Ryan had an MVP year. When was the last time you saw Matt Ryan have an MVP a year like that? When was the last time?
Since Shanahan.
Since Shanahan. Okay. Who is Jimmy G? A lot of people said that Jacoby Brissett was better than Jimmy G. Mm-hmm. They were both backups for New England. Jimmy G gets brought over here to San Francisco. He is one of the most winningest quarterback in the league, but no one will consider him a top 10 quarterback. Why? Because he's not. But what does Kyle Shanahan make him look like? He puts him in a system that works for him. So Kyle Shanahan is going to make a system that works for Trey Lance. And he has all the resources to do so. He has George Kittle, Deebo Samuel, Brandon Ayuk, a young wide receiver, Danny Gray, an offensive line with Silverback, Trenton Williams, which is, one of the top left tackles in the league. Out of respect that reads here, I'm going to say one of the best left tackles in the league. And then you're a run heavy, team. And then a defense, a top 5 defense in the league. He has all the resources to make Trey Lance look like he's a dog, like he has a dog in him without him being the best. He could be mediocre. He could suck, but he will still look good in this organization.
AJ, I really hate to be on the Niners talk and not just disagree with you. But AJ, everything you just said, you're just spitting straight facts. Shanahan is the guy to be able to make Trey Lance a great quarterback. If Trey Lance is going to succeed, the best chance he has is probably with Shanahan. He's a terrific coach. He's made decent guys or bad quarterbacks look even better. He can do the same thing with Trey Lance, hopefully. And if he doesn't, then we're back to Jimmy G, and it's same old, same old.
Same old, same old. And yes, Israel Lance still needs a lot of time. He's 22 years old, a lot of learning. But, you can relate this to real world problems here. Okay, when you start a new job, do you learn by reading the instruction manual, or do you learn more by hands-on activity? Huh? For me, I learn more when I'm out there on the field doing what I need to do, hands-on perspective. Let him learn out there. Even if he does fall, allow him to fall, allow him to grow, allow him to learn. And that's the only way you can learn. Okay, you got to get beat up every now and then.
Yeah,
it's just how it is.
There's only so much you can learn in the classroom. Eventually, you have to go out there, get your hands dirty, and learn, make mistakes, and learn from them, and become a better quarterback or better whatever you are at your job. There's only so much you can learn in the classroom.
Very well said. I'm super excited about this. I am glad Jimmy G is staying with the Niners. I know I said I would want for him to leave, but I didn't think they would be able to renegotiate his contract so low, so friendly for the team.
It says so much about Jimmy G, who he is as a person. Like, my whole perception of who Jimmy G is completely changed with him accepting that low of a contract, with who he is and how much leverage he had.
Yes. And that's another reason why Jimmy G is going to be a starter next year with a different team or with the Niners because of how mature he is. The Niners moved all the way up, third overall pick to pick out a guy that's only played 2 games the year prior in college. And Jimmy G took it like a champ. We went to the NFC Championship last year. He had a chip on his shoulder and he played that way. He played to the best that he can be. And then he's just handling this very well. He wants to help out the team. He loves the team. He loves the players on the team. He loves the faithful. What a great guy. Honestly, what a great guy.
Mm-hmm.
You know, that's why I'm going to keep this little fungo pop here. I like that. I like that a lot.
All right, Israel. So my question is, why isn't Love not the starter for Green Bay? All right, we're going to Packer talk. Here we
Oh,
go.
no. Whoa. You switched it up on me.
I switched it up. Israel, are you taking mushrooms with Aaron Rodgers right now? Jeez, man. Okay, the reason why Love isn't the starter for the Green Bay Packers, even though we spent that first round pick on him like the Niners did, is because we have Aaron Rodgers. Jimmy Garoppolo and Aaron Rodgers are completely different people. Aaron Rodgers, since Jordan Love has been drafted, it has now had 2 back-to-back MVP seasons. Jordan Love's making Aaron Rodgers better. Guys, come on. We need him on the bench. Jordan Love will eventually get his chance. Aaron Rodgers will either retire this year or the Nets. But right now, we're focused on Aaron Rodgers and trying to win a Super Bowl. We'll figure out what happens Nets later, and that's why. Get off those mushrooms, man.
So that is a different situation when it comes to Jimmy G and Aaron Rodgers. Aaron Rodgers is probably the best quarterback in the league. You know, if he says that he wants to play, you allow him to play. It's kind of like over there in Tampa Bay, you know, with Tom Brady. It's a little different. Jimmy G
Yes.
is not Aaron Rodgers, so we understand that. And it's also a little different because they did take him, you know, top 10 in the first round. Jordan Love, they took him in the back end of the first round.
Yeah.
Trey Lance was a third overall pick. You know, I mean, you're comparing this guy with Trevor Lawrence, and you're comparing this guy with Zach Wilson. You know, and I do feel like he's going to outshine those guys
and Mac Jones.
and Mac Jones and Justin
Yeah.
Fields and Davis Mills. You know, but David Parrott, hey man, I think it's the first time you're on the show. Appreciate you being here. First of all, Rams fan or not, love to see new people here. He says, as a Rams fan, he's putting this in all caps, by the way. As a Rams fan, I'm so happy. This means Lance is a bust. Oh man, you know what? It's hard because
Can I answer this?
Oh yeah, sure.
Yeah, I don't think this means Lance is a bust. I think Shanahan from the very beginning was planning on, hey, if we cannot, and John Lynch. This is John Lynch too. I think they were always planning that if we can't get rid of him and we can't trade him away, that we're not going to cut him. We're going to keep him on the team. This was always Plan B. It was not Plan C. Plan A was to trade him, but Plan B was to keep him on the team as a backup.
Oh yeah, they're always wondering, hey, can we? If it's a possibility to keep Jimmy G as a backup, we will. And the whole reason why we didn't want to was because of his giant contract. We renegotiated that to 6.5 mil. That's awesome. That's very team friendly, even though it's very high for a backup QB. I mean, you have the best backup in the organization now. Hey, David, let me ask. Oh, okay. Hey, David, I appreciate you being here. Remember, you could have traded Stafford and won the Super Bowl, traded 3 firsts for a bust. Oh, man, you don't understand. That story gets me every single time. I don't know if you heard this story, David, but I think Matthew Stafford was in Mexico, right? And Kyle Shanahan drove all the way over there. Sean McVay was over there as well. And Kyle Shanahan was trying to get into contact with Matthew Stafford, but Sean McVay or someone told him, hey, man, he's not even here. He's done. So don't bother him. And, you know, it goes something like that. And then Sean McVay swooped in and stole him from the Niners, which congratulations to McVay. He's a very talented coach. You know, good for him. I would love to have Stafford with the Niners because that guy is talented and obviously it paid out for the Rams. So good for you. Even though we're one drop away, Jaquiski Tart, man, he should have caught that ball. You know it. You know it, David. Don't tell me you don't. But no, good for you guys. And honestly, you guys have a good next 2-3 year future, man. Because after that, it might look a little rough. But it's just the truth. Appreciate you, David. Hey, man, if being generous today, try to hit that subscribe button. Appreciate you being here. Honestly, thank you. even as a Rams fan. We have a Seahawks fans that's usually on the podcast, and now I feel great because the Seahawks are going to blow this year. So hit that thumbs up if you agree that the Seahawks just going to suck this year. Yeah, you hit that thumbs up because it's true. SC Israel Thornton says Love deserves to be a starter if there was just wasting a first round pick on him. I mean, if you believe in Lance so much, why can't you believe in Love? Reed. Oh, Reed's doing
Did he listen? Is he there?
Gosh, man.
I just answered that because we have Aaron Rodgers. Aaron Rodgers is different from Jimmy G. Come on, Israel. We're running in circles here. Let's keep it moving. Keep it going.
Keep it moving. Keep it going. David, I got a question for you. I'm going to go back to your name right here. David, let me just ask you. You think the Niners are going to sweep the Rams again this year? I just want to ask that question real quick. Yeah, David, he does have a point. But you know what? That was just something that happened during the offseason. The Niners were always looking to move away from Jimmy G. They were, because he just could not stay healthy. It wasn't that he wasn't great. It's just that he couldn't stay healthy. And just like I said earlier in this podcast, is that there's so many times where we missed the playoffs due to QB injury. I mean, 2 years ago, we had to rely on Nick Mullins and CJ Beathard. Look where they're at now. They're third stringers. Nick Mullins is a fourth stringer. I mean, I hope he made the team. I didn't check to see if he made the team with the Vikings, but hey, man.
I'm not sure.
I'm not too sure either. I hope it's different. But hey, man. It's okay to hate. If there's no disagreements, then no one will be watching the show because everyone will think the same. So if you disagree with us, that's awesome. Hey, bring it all on. Give us your comments. Let us respond because we allow y'all to respond. We're not the type of show where we're like, oh, we're right and you're wrong. Lance can be a bust. He can. Okay, do I think he's a bust? Nah, no, not at all. Jimmy G's an insurance plan. Great backup. I wouldn't want to have it any other way. Our backup before him was Sudfeld. And then after that was Brock Purdy, Mr. Irrelevant. So am I happy that we have Jimmy G as a backup for $6.5 million? Hell yeah, I am. Hell yeah, because now I know for the first time in the past 5 years, now I know that if our starting quarterback goes down, we got a backup that's worth a damn.
Mm-hmm.
And that's the bottom line.
Do you think that this is my last question?
Okay.
Do you think Shanahan might use like 2 quarterback situation like they kind of did last year, where they bring Jimmy G in for certain plays? Do you think that's possible?
I think it's possible if they need to get creative. Okay, let's say a situation happens like they did last year, where the Niners sweep the Rams like they always do, right? And then they go to the playoffs. And they go against the Rams again. It is very difficult to beat a team 3 times in a row, or even just playing a team 3 times in a row. You understand them. You dissected that team. And Kyle Shanahan, he's very creative. Last year in the preseason, they did that double QB rotation where they had Trey Lance in. They switched off Jimmy G, Trey Lance, Jimmy G, Trey Lance, Jimmy G. And it was something that I've never seen before. It was wild, and it worked. It kept the defense on their toes. They didn't know what to do. They didn't know whether to load up the box because Trey Lance has a cannon, you know? Yeah. And the Niners are a run-heavy team, so they got Trey Lance. He's a mobile QB, but so they loaded up the box, and then all of a sudden, boom, deep ball. We got Trey Lance.
Yeah.
Bye, Rams. I'm going to keep on calling out the Rams because David's here. I think he's still here. It says, look, AJ, I'm looking to take my trophy in fantasy. Let me know when we are drafting. We're drafting tomorrow, my man. Where you been?
You better get ready, dude.
You better get ready. And tell you what, though, everyone in our fantasy league, we will be drafting live. So if you want to join this podcast live with us to show your face and everything, we're going to send out the link, and anyone in our fantasy league is able to join. Okay, so if you want to join us, I'll send out the link tomorrow. I'm going to send some more information tonight. But yeah, you ain't taking home that trophy, baby, as long as I'm there. So they are both pocket QBs. It's not a possibility. They're not. Trey Lance scrambles. Oh yeah, he's quick. Look at his highlights in college at North Dakota State. I know it's North Dakota State, but look at it. And look at last year. Look at last year with the Niners. He played 2 games, and you know what? He used his legs a couple of times. Look at this preseason against the Packers. One of the first. He scrambled for 7 yards as soon as the line broke down.
Jordan Love scrambled for 13. Just want to say.
Hey, Jordan Love's a stud. That's why he's a stud. Okay, that's why. What time? The fantasy draft tomorrow
is at 7, right?
It is at 7. It's at 7 o'clock. At 7 p.m.
7 p.m. Don't show up 7 a.m.
Zombie says, "Not my fantasy trophy." Oh, well, okay. Now we're talking fantasy now, and I'm glad we're talking fantasy because I do want to address about Trey Lance. Okay, for those of y'all who are thinking about taking a home run shot at
Here
Trey
we go.
Lance as their quarterback, because I do believe he will be a top 5 fantasy quarterback. It's okay.
Top
Signing
5?
top 5. Yes, I do believe he will finish top 5 fantasy.
I
You
thought
could
it was
clip this.
top 12. When did you go up to top 5?
No, no, right now, drafting him,
Oh,
he's a top 12 fantasy quarterback. But
okay.
by the
Okay.
end of this fantasy season, I do believe he will finish off as a top 5 fantasy QB.
Okay.
Like I said, you can clip that if you want, but signing Jimmy G does not affect that. If anything, it should provide some fuel under him to actually outperform and do better than what he does, because now, it's still his job. It's his team. But now he has some Jimmy G, some dreamy Garoppolo behind him. And sorry, Trey. I'm gonna bash on Trey a little bit. Okay, I'm sorry. But if you look at Jimmy G, he has a perfect stubble, perfect haircut, real
Oh
nice in
no,
there.
don't do this.
You gotta do something with your hair, dog. You gotta do something with your hair, man. I love you, Trey. I really do, but you gotta see a designer. So you're getting paid. I know you're getting paid.
He's
Go out
got
there.
he's got the party in the front, man.
Part. I thought it was a party on the sides, business in the front.
I forget which way
Was
it
it?
works.
Yeah. Oh man. He has very thin hair. You wear a cap, dude, or get that done. Buzz it off.
Keep
But
that helmet on.
keep that helmet on. But you still look great, Trey. You look great. Trey Bay. That's what we call him. Trey Bay and
Oh no.
Dreamy G.
Oh no.
Oh man. Oh, but that was awesome. I had a lot of fun. Hey, Reed. Hey guys, if you guys are interested in the Packers, Reed does a not so pro Packer talk. It releases every Wednesday at 5 o'clock. Do you want to tell our viewers a little bit about that?
Yeah, every single Wednesday at 5 o'clock, I have to break down everything happening with the Packers. This week, I don't know what I'm going to be talking about. I want to see what the 53-man roster comes out as, but hopefully soon I'll be doing my schedule prediction for the Packers soon, which we know they're going 17-0. JK, JK.
I was about to say.
But it's a lot of fun. Even if you're not a Packers fan, you can learn a lot about the Packers because they are a good team in this league.
And yes, they are. As long as they have Aaron Rodgers, they're a
Mhm.
great team, and their defense looks pretty solid this upcoming season. But yeah, no, honestly, appreciate every single one of y'all being here. We do have our fantasy talk. We do it every Tuesday. That is tomorrow at 6 o'clock, and then immediately after that, we will be doing a live draft. If you want to join in, or if you're in the league, you could join us live here with us on screen. It'll be fun. If we do have some loose visitors, we'll put a number out. You guys can call us, and we'll put you on air to have any questions for us. But it should be a lot of fun. So go ahead, bring some Kool-Aid, bring your popcorn. It's gonna be great. Gonna have a great time. Reed, appreciate you being here. I do want to give a shout out to everyone that was here. I want to give a shout out to Nestor, Peyton, Pete, Teddy Belcher, Nick, Israel, my dad, Mondo, Israel again. Sorry about that, and David.
That's everybody.
Perrin. Yeah, that's everyone. Okay. I appreciate every single one of y'all being here. If you haven't yet, hit that subscribe button on YouTube, guys. It helps us out a lot. It really does. Find us on TikTok. We're on NSP Football Talk. We got some great content. I'm going to try to work some content right now. We do have I have a fantasy draft after this show, so I'm getting ready for that as well. But as always, appreciate you guys there so much for everything. And until next time, faithful, keep on grinding.
Go back, go.